There's a version of you, maybe it's the version sitting here right now, who wakes up every morning and before they even open their eyes, they feel it. That low, quiet hum of anxiety. Not the sharp panic of a crisis. Just a dull weight. Maybe it's the $47,000 in student loans you've been carrying for 4 years. Maybe it's the moment you realize, again, that you have less than $500 in your checking account, and payday is still 9 days away. Maybe it's the credit card bill you're going to pay the minimum on. Again, and the worst part isn't the number on the screen. The worst part is the feeling that you have no idea how to change it. Welcome back. I want to start today's video with a question. If I asked you right now, where are you on your financial journey? Could you answer me? Most people can't, and that's not their fault. Because nobody gave us a map, we were handed a world full of money advice. Invest early, spend less, hustle harder, but no one ever sat us down and said, here's the journey, here's the terrain, here are the 12 milestones, and here is exactly where you are standing right now. That is what today's video is about. Not motivational fluff, not generic tips. A real concrete roadmap, 12 steps, organized across 4 phases, that will show you where you've been, where you are, and exactly what you need to do next. This is the map I wish someone had handed me years ago. Let's begin. The first phase of this journey has a name that nobody wants to claim. The stage of stress and insecurity. But here's the truth, the majority of people on this planet, yes, including people with good jobs and college degrees, live somewhere inside this phase. That's not a judgment, that's just reality. And reality is where good decisions start. This phase contains 3 steps. Step 1, the debt starting point, negative net worth. Step 1, imagine this person. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus just graduated, first in his family to earn a college degree. He's 24 years old. He has a job offer in marketing at a decent company. $52,000 a year. On paper, his life is beginning. But when Marcus sits down and actually looks at his numbers, really looks, he discovers something uncomfortable. He has $61,000 in student loan debt, a $4,000 to $200 balance on a credit card he used during senior year, and $840 in his savings account. His net worth negative by a lot. A negative net worth simply means you owe more than you own. And in the United States alone, the average student loan debt is over $37,000. In many fields, medicine, law, or MBA programs, it can reach $150,000 to $300,000. This is step 1. And while it feels like the worst possible place to start, here's what I want you to hear clearly. Starting at step 1 is not a failure, it's just a starting line. The difference between people who eventually reach financial freedom and people who don't isn't where they began. It's whether they ever got a map and what they did with it. Marcus now has a map. Step 2 is about dependency. Some people arrive at step 1 and they still have a safety net underneath them. Family. Maybe mom covers their phone bill, maybe they're still living at home, maybe grandparents sent a check during tough months. This isn't weakness. For many families and many cultures, this is just how life works. But it comes with a cost that isn't financial, it's psychological. When you know someone will catch you if you fall, you never fully build the muscles required to balance on your own. And somewhere deep inside, you know it, which creates its own quiet anxiety. Step 2 is the bridge between total dependence and self-sufficiency. The goal is simple. Get to a place where you can cover your own basic needs. Housing, food, transportation, the phone bill, not thrive, not invest, just survive, under your own roof, on your own terms. That's step 2. And reaching it, truly reaching it, feels like taking your first real breath. Step 3, self-sufficiency, the paycheck to paycheck trap. Step 3. This is where Marcus is now 6 months into his job. He's paying his own rent, $1,450, for a one-bedroom apartment. He covers his phone, his groceries, his car insurance. He's self-sufficient. But here's what's actually happening. His $52,000 salary, after federal and state taxes, comes out to about $3,400 a month take-home. His rent is $1,450. Utilities, $120. Groceries, $350. Car expenses, $280. Subscriptions and random expenses, $200. Minimum loan payments, $450. Credit card minimum, $65. Total, $2,915. He has $485 left over, and every month that $485 quietly disappears into small purchases, one dinner out, one emergency car repair, and resets back to zero. This is the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, and according to a 2024 survey, 62% of Americans were living inside it. 62%. Here's what makes Step 3 particularly dangerous. You feel like you're doing okay, but you have zero cushion. One unexpected expense, a medical bill, a car breakdown, a job loss. And you're not just back at Step 1, you're in crisis. Step 3 is stable on the surface, but it is the thinnest of ice. The question is, how do you get off it? The answer begins in Phase 2. Phase 2 is where everything shifts. Not because your income suddenly changes, not because you got lucky, but because you finally decided to look, really look at the numbers, and then you took action. Step 4. Expense tracking, knowing your two numbers. Step 4 seems almost insultingly simple. Track your expenses. But before you dismiss this, let me tell you what most people get wrong. They track expenses to feel guilty. They write down what they spent and then feel bad about the latte and the takeout. That's not the goal. The goal of Step 4 is to discover two specific numbers. Number 1, your minimum living cost. This is the absolute floor. The bare minimum you need to survive each month. Rent, utilities, basic groceries, debt minimums, transportation to work, nothing else. For Marcus, let's say that number is $2,400. Number 2, your standard living cost. This is your actual lifestyle, including the dinners out, the streaming services, the gym membership, the haircuts, the occasional concert ticket, everything. For Marcus, that's $2,915. Why did these two numbers matter so much? Because they become your targets. When you reach Step 10, financial security, you'll need your investments to generate $2,400 a month passively. That's your survival number. When you reach Step 11, financial independence, you'll need them to generate $2,915 a month. That's your freedom number. You cannot build a target you haven't measured. Step 4 is simply the act of measuring. Step 5. Debt elimination, the weight you must put down. Step 5. Marcus has $61,000 in student loans and $4,200 on a credit card. Here's something crucial to understand. Not all debt is equal. The student loan carries a 5.5% interest rate. The credit card, 22.99% APR. That credit card is not just a debt. It is a machine designed to keep him in debt. Every month he carries that $4,200 balance. He's paying roughly $80 in interest. Money that buys him nothing. Money that builds no equity. Money that simply evaporates. This is what we call bad debt. High interest, zero asset debt. The student loan, while large, is lower interest, and it did produce an asset. His education, his earning potential. We call this structural debt. Not good, but not immediately predatory. Step 5 is about eliminating bad debt aggressively. If Marcus directs that $485 monthly surplus toward the credit card, instead of letting it disappear, he pays it off in roughly 10 months. Gone, the $80 a month he was hemorrhaging in interest, now freed. Step 5 is not just about money, it's about reclaiming mental real estate. Step 6, the cash flow system, 4 buckets, 1 life. Step 6 is where the architecture begins. Most people have 1 bank account, maybe 2, and all the money sloshes around in one pool, which means every spending decision competes with every other spending decision. There's a better way. Separate your money into 4 distinct buckets. Bucket 1, the everyday account. This is your operational account. Groceries, gas bills, day-to-day life. You fund it each month with exactly what your standard living cost requires, and nothing more. Bucket 2, the savings account. This is goal-specific, a down payment, a business investment, something meaningful in the future. Every month the fixed amount flows in automatically, before you even see it. Bucket 3, the emergency fund. This is your psychological armor. The goal, 3 to 6 months of your minimum living cost, sitting untouched. For Marcus, that's $7,200 to $14,400. When the car breaks down, and it will, you do not reach for the credit card. You reach into the emergency fund. Bucket 4, sinking funds. These are pre-planned savings for known future expenses. New laptop in 8 months. Divide the cost by 8, set that aside monthly. Christmas gifts, family vacation. Sinking funds mean they never surprise you. Step 6 is the moment your finances stop happening to you and start happening for you. Phase 3 is where we leave survival mode entirely. The foundation is set, the bad debt is gone, the system is running. Now we ask the most important question in personal finance. How do I make my money work harder than I do? Step 7, the wealth-building mindset, your soldiers. Step 7 isn't a tactic, it's a transformation in how you see money. Here's the frame I want you to carry with you. Every dollar you have is a soldier, not a resource you consume, a soldier you deploy. When you spend $100 on dinner, that soldier goes out and never comes back. When you put $100 into an investment, that soldier goes to work. And if the investment compounds it, say 10% annually, after 10 years, that soldier has not only returned, he's brought back $159 with him. The wealthy don't just earn more, they deploy more. They are constantly sending soldiers out into the world, into index funds, into real estate, into businesses. And those soldiers keep returning with more. How many soldiers do you have? And where are you sending them? Step 8. Capital accumulation, pulling 2 levers simultaneously. Step 8 is about building your war chest, and there are only 2 ways to do it. Lever 1, decrease expenses. This doesn't mean eating rice and beans and suffering. It means ruthlessly auditing your life for spending. That does not align with your values or your goals. Marcus finds $230 in monthly spending he can redirect without sacrificing his quality of life. That's $2,760 a year. That's capital. Lever 2, increase income. Here's what no one tells you about Step 8. Reducing expenses has a ceiling. Increasing income does not. Marcus starts consulting on weekends for small businesses who need marketing strategy. He charges $50 an hour, 5 hours a week, $250 a week, $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year on top of his salary. Now, instead of deploying $485 a month in soldiers, Marcus is deploying $1,715. Step 8 is about persistence. It's not glamorous, but it is the engine of everything that follows. Step 9, strategic investing, deploying your capital. Step 9, Marcus now has capital accumulating every month. The question is, where do you send the soldiers? The principle that has created more quiet, sustainable wealth than almost anything else: consistency over brilliance. The person who invests $500 every single month into a broad market index fund, through bull markets and bear markets, without trying to time anything, that person, over 20 to 30 years, almost always builds significant wealth. $500 a month starting at 25, compounding at an average 8% annual return. By age 35, approximately $90,000. By age 45, approximately $283,000. By age 55, approximately $745,000. By age 65, approximately $1.75 million, one person. $500 a month. No market timing genius, just time and consistency. Step 9 is not about being the smartest investor in the room. It is about being the most consistent one. Phase 4. I want to be honest with you, very few people reach this phase, not because it's impossible, but because most people never had a map. They wandered, they gave up, they forgot why they started, but you have a map now. Step 10. Financial security. Your floor is covered forever. Step 10. Imagine this moment. You sit down one evening and you do the math. And you realize, for the first time in your life, that even if you stopped working tomorrow, you would be okay. Your minimum needs would be covered forever. That is financial security. Using the 4% safe withdrawal rule, the math works like this. Marcus's minimum living cost, $2,400 a month, equals $28,800 a year. Portfolio needed, $28,800. Divided by 0.04 equals $720,000. $720,000. That number might seem enormous right now, but Marcus is 24. He has time, he has both levers, and he has compound interest working in his favor. Step 10 is the end of financial fear. Step 11, financial independence, the FIRE. Step 11, FIRE. Financial independence, retire early. This step means your investments now generate enough to cover your actual lifestyle, the standard you've chosen, with room to breathe. Marcus's standard living cost, $2,915 a month, equals $34,980 a year. Portfolio needed, $34,980 divided by 0.04 equals $874,500. At this step, Marcus no longer needs to trade his time for money. The key word is need. He no longer needs to. Step 11 is the moment your time becomes yours again. Step 12, financial freedom, the highest peak. Step 12, there is no more ladder above this. At step 12, money has become something else entirely. It's no longer a constraint. It's no longer a source of anxiety. It's not even really a goal anymore. It's just a tool. At step 12, the quality of your life is completely insulated from financial shifts. Market crashes don't ruin your sleep. Pay cuts don't reshape your decisions. Layoffs don't end your story. This isn't about wealth for its own sake. This isn't about proving something to someone. This isn't about the car in the driveway or the number of zeros in the account. It's about waking up one morning without the weight, without the hum, and knowing that today, truly, completely, is yours. That is step 12. So, where are you? Maybe you're at step 3, paycheck to paycheck, one bad month away from a crisis. Maybe you're at step 6, systems in place, but not quite investing yet. Maybe you're further along than you thought, and you just didn't have the language to describe it. Wherever you are, that's okay, because now you know the map. And here's what I want you to do, not next year, not next month, not tomorrow, today. Take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down the answer to 2 questions. What is my minimum living cost? What is my standard living cost? If you don't know the answers, that's your first job. Track for 30 days. Be honest. Don't judge yourself. Just gather the data. Because without those 2 numbers, you cannot build a target. And without a target, you are walking in fog. The journey to financial liberty is long. Marcus's journey is long, yours is too. But the people who arrive, they're not geniuses. They're not lucky. They're not born into the right circumstances. They just had a map. And they kept walking. You have the map now. Keep walking. If this video helped you see your financial journey differently, please share it with someone who needs a map. Subscribe if you want to keep walking with us. And leave a comment below. Which step are you on right now? I read every single one. Until next time.